Hello everyone, my name is Miki Kawamura. I work at the Goi Peace Foundation and I'm the director of the Youth Peace Ambassador Program. I'm so grateful to be able to stand in front of you with all of you here today. And today I'll be speaking about growth mindset, leadership, and personal development for professionals along with Frank. So let me share my screen. So, as I begin my presentation, I like to begin with a simple question. Have you ever failed? If I asked everyone in this room, I imagine most of you would say yes. Maybe you failed an exam. Maybe you lost an important competition. Maybe you didn't go into your first choice for university. Maybe you made a mistake at work. Each of us carried our own story of what we called failure. But today, I'd like you to offer a different perspective. I don't believe failure exists. Of course, different events exist. We get sick, we experience rejection. Sometimes our dreams don't unfold the way we hoped. Those events are real. But whether we call them failure is something we decide. I believe failure is not an event. It is our interpretation of that event. When I was in my first year of high school, I was diagnosed with depression. Within 5 months, I lost 19 kilograms, and during this moment, I had no emotions. My life was black and white, with just no emotions. I had to take a year off of school, and while my friends were studying, I stayed at home by myself. I felt like I wasn't contributing anything to society. I felt guilty for worrying my parents. And at that time, I truly believed that I had failed. If you had met me then, you probably would have felt sorry for me. Some people might even have called it is the greatest setback of my life. But today, when I look back on that year, I see it as one of the greatest gifts I have ever received in my life. During that year, I spent countless hours with my grandmother. My grandmother, Masami Sayonji, is a global peace activist who had dedicated her life to building peace across cultures, religions, and countries. Every day we talked about life, about peace, about why people fight, about what truly makes people happy, and those conversations taught me lessons that no classroom have ever could. And this inspired me to begin my own journey to peace building. And when I look back, if I never have become ill, if I never become diagnosed as depression, if I've never taken that year off, I would have never had those conversations and I wouldn't be standing here today. And that's why I can no longer call my depression as failure. That experience taught me something that has shaped my entire life. Life doesn't come with meanings attached. Meaning is something what we create. And we cannot always choose what happens to all of us, but we can always choose how we interpret what happened. And to me, that is what a growth mindset truly is. It is not believing that you can do everything. It is believing that every experience, even the painful experiences in your life can become part of your growth. This mindset completely changed the direction of my life. And since then, I have the opportunity to work on peace projects all over the world. I've spoken at Italian parliaments, I've engaged in dialogue with over 10,000 youths, and I've worked on peace education in over 100 countries. But here's something that I learned. Peace building has no instruction manual. There is no formula that guarantees peace. Every day, we must ask ourselves, is this really the right way? Could there be a better way? We are constantly walking into the unknown. Along the way, people had told me that it's impossible, that you're being too idealistic, and that's just unrealistic and an unrealistic dream, and to become more practical. And perhaps you've heard similar words like this in your life. But I've never stopped walking. Not because I was especially brave, but because I didn't believe failure had the final word. If something didn't work, I simply learned one more way that didn't work. And then I tried again. I've come to believe that the difference between people who take action and people who doesn't isn't just talent. It is intelligence. It isn't luck. It is how we define failure. If failure means the end, you'll never begin. But if failure is simply another experience, then you always have the courage to take one more step. I believe this is also what leadership is. Many people think leaders are the people who already have the answers. But I don't. I believe leaders are the people who are willing to walk into places where no one has the answers yet. They take the responsibility. They ask difficult questions. They take the first step, even without certainty. If everyone waited for someone else to prove something was possible, nothing new would ever happen. The future is not created by the people who follow certainty. It is created by the people who are willing to explore uncertainty. There is one more lesson that has become increasingly important to me. Don't measure your success by someone else's life. Today, social media constantly shows us other people's achievements. Someone has already started a company. Someone has already become successful. Someone has already built an impressive career. And without realizing it, we begin comparing our lives to theirs. But what is success? Is it recognition? Money? Status? I don't think so. To me, success means having the courage to live according to your own values, to walk your own path, not someone else's. As future professionals, technical knowledge will always matter, but knowledge alone won't be enough. Artificial intelligence will continue to evolve. Technology will continue to change. The world itself will continue to change. But there are always qualities that always matter. The ability to create meaning, the courage to ask new questions, and the willingness to step into situations where no one knows the answers. So before I finish, I'd like you to leave with one final question. I invite you to think of one event in your own life, something you've been calling a failure. And now ask yourself, was it really a failure? Or have you simply not discovered its true meaning yet? I believe life is like connecting dots. We rarely understand the picture while we're living it. Only when we look back do we begin to see how everything fits together. Today, each of you is preparing to carry yourself in law. Your journey is different from mine. The challenges you face may not look like depression or peace building, but one truth applies to all of us. You cannot always choose what happens to you, but you can always choose what it means and defines. No one can take the freedom away from you. So today, I'd like you to leave with you this thought. Your greatest limitation is not what happened to you, it is the meaning you have attached to it. There is no such thing as failure. There are only experiences, and only you have the power to transform those experiences into gifts. So please don't be afraid of failure. Don't spend your life chasing someone else's definition of success. Walk the path you truly believe in. The future is not built by people who already know the right answers. It is built by those who are willing to take the first step into a world where no one knows the answers yet. And to all of you, the future lawyers in this room, The moment you choose to take that first step, that is leadership. The moment you choose to create meaning from your experiences, that is the growth mindset. And thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the following other sessions and speakers. Bye. It was from Miki.